everyone, I am back for part 3 of our planner page for this week, and we've been doing our lovely little boat, and we have a lot of leaf work to do around the edge here, so I am going to crack on with that. I am just trying to remember which colour I used for that bit, but I have no clue because I put all my pencils away and I did it yesterday, so I'm just having a quick look. Was it green grass? Maybe. Okay, I'm just going to grab something and go, I think. We've only got a few leaves up here and quite a lot going on over here. I colour matched here, so I'll do something here and colour match it over here and colour match that to this and maybe this to this, and then this will be its own thing. I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to start with the one from over here. Now I don't know if this is the fan green or the toxic green from the spider set, so it's not very useful really, but I'm just giving it a sharpen. I haven't even got a number left, I've just got an in. It is the slightly lighter of the two, if that's of any use. I could probably find out for sure, because I have swatched them. I've got a swatch book that I've swatched them in. But anyway, it's pretty, isn't it, this colour? I'm trying to make them a little bit darker at the base than the tip, and then working my way through them all. Yeah, I've just finished a picture actually. I usually don't sort of do loads of colouring in the morning. I usually get on with jobs and then come and do some videoing, but I was like, 15 minutes away from finishing a page, and I didn't do it last night because I was getting too tired. I'm just going to do this sort of spiky one. I find if I do too much near bedtime I can spoil it, so I hadn't done it. I missed that completely, look at that. But it's because it's such a small pencil, I'm struggling a little bit. And I broke the tip off over there, which didn't help. Yeah, so I wanted to finish that. It was a Rita Berman picture that I'd been working on. It was a double page and it'd taken me ages. It was just because it was quite a repetitive picture. Next colour, where should we go? I don't want to go too light on my border. I feel that border should be quite defined, quite dark, I suppose. We could use, let's grab something from over here. I'm just a bit wondering what I used. Let me look at what I've already used. I used opal green and venom. I think that was for this. And I used green grass, which I think must have been for that edge. So I am not going to use those. I'm going to grab the Irish green. I'm pretty sure that isn't one that I used. So here it is. This is from the Scorpion set. I'm going to give it a sharpen. I was actually just looking at pictures of scorpions because, excuse me, these could be the same as these. They look really similar. I think I am going to do them the same. Yes, because I had picked my next picture to colour for myself, and it was from Spirit Animals by Hannah Carlson. I've been trying to do one picture from each of Hannah's books and one picture from each of Maria Trolle's books each month, and Rita's books, not all of Rita's books, because I've got her winter, spring, summer, autumn, so winter at the moment, and then from the season each month. It keeps a nice variety for me. It's if I sit down and think what do I want to colour, because having lots of books, it's quite overwhelming not knowing what to do, so it saves me that thought process. I can just grab and go type thing. I'm thinking about these ivy. I'm sort of grub green or forest. Forest is quite dark. I know. I'm going to grab the forest. This is from the Cobra set. And I'm going to do the outside and the stems. I'm going to do these a bit differently. So I'm going to do the outside and the stem in a different colour to the inside. Because there's a lot of leaves and they're all, for me, look the same plant sort of thing. If we use a couple of greens, I think it'll just keep it a bit more interesting, both to look at for, you know, once the picture's done, but also from a colouring perspective. Now I'm blocking this in. I want it to be nice and dark as a sort of frame around each of the leaves, so it's nice and simple work wise. Yes, so I was found in Spirit Animals there's a page with a scorpion, and it looks quite simple. I was after something a little bit simple. That's what I was in the mood for, having just done quite a complicated page. So I was looking at pictures to figure out what colour they are. We don't get scorpions in the UK, not that I'm aware. I think I would have seen one if we did. Not that I've ever seen a snake, and we do, but they're shy apparently, and you have to be in the right place at the right time. Thank goodness. I shall just add quickly. Don't be you to all be telling me where the snakes are, because I won't be looking. I'm going to come in a little bit closer, I think. There we go. Anyways, so I was looking at the colours, because the scorpion on the Black Widow pencils is a really sort of burgundy red colour, and I thought, well, maybe that's the right colour, but having a look, they usually seem to be black, but there are some in brown colours, so I might do a mix of brown and black. I think colouring something completely in black is a bit tricky. I think there are bits of it that are separated out sort of thing, you know, little sections and stuff, so I think I'll do some in black and some in brown. That was my thought, but I haven't started yet, so I may completely change my mind, and I thought I might use my Prismas because they're quick. I realise why people like Prismas now. I'm getting used to mine. They are so fast. You can colour things really quickly, so that's interesting. But I hope everyone's doing well today anyway. A bit tired, to be honest. I woke up at 12:30 with reflux. It was lovely. Had some antacid tablets, but it took about an hour before I felt like I could lie down again. I was chilling with a game on my phone. I know you're not supposed to look at phones in the night, that sort of light, but on the other hand, I wanted to stay relaxed, and you know, it was fine. And so I'll be fine. I'll sleep better tonight, I'm sure. I know what it was that I ate. I had an extra big meal, and it was a bit rich, so I shall have to remember not to do that again. It's fine. It is what it is. But I've got to go shopping later, and that'll wake me up a bit as it's minus something outside. Freezing. Because yeah, I need to make a dish of food to take with me out for lunch tomorrow, because yeah, I struggle with eating. You know, I have so many things I can't eat, it's easier to just take something. So we'll see. I've got to take something for me and my son, because the father-in-law's cooking, and he's doing lamb, which one of my sons really dislikes. He hates fatty meat. He really only likes beef and chicken. And so I've got to take something he can eat too. So I'm trying to think of what to do. It's all fun. Now, the insides of these, I am thinking the grub green. I like the name grub green. I don't think I've ever seen a green grub, but you know. What I'm going to do with these is a little bit different. I'm going to try and make them a little bit darker near the bottom and lighter in the tips. So we sort of fade them a bit. And I'm not worrying too much about whether I overlap that outside bit. I don't think it's going to show up that much to be a concern. Oops, don't really want to go outside of that line, but hey ho, I did it. not going to worry about it. So it's quite funny. I had 3 letters this morning. My son's got a hospital appointment coming. 3 letters. I could tell one was an appointment letter because we have hospital appointment letters all the time, orthodontics and, you know, things like that. And the other 2 I didn't know, and they were all exactly the same. 2 of them were exactly the same letter in different envelopes, and one of them was in the same envelope as one of the others, and it was a letter saying you've been given an appointment, and the other letters were the appointment. It's like, really? So, you know, there's not enough money in our NHS. It's our National Health System. It's struggling, as we all know, in the UK. It needs some funding or something to happen. And then they're sending out 3 letters. But my other son has got an appointment at the same hospital in the same week. And none of it's anything too serious. And he only got 1 letter. Actually, no, he got a letter with an appointment, which I then changed, and then he got a second letter with the new appointment. It's like, oh, you know. And then they will text you when it comes near to remind you of the appointment, which I appreciate. And actually, oh, it's my front door, hang on, was a delivery now. Oh, I was doing these leaves, wasn't I? My son has got a new chair. His was breaking. The bit that changes the height, you know, it has like a piston or something in it that had broken, so every so often it would just sink. And he was finding it rather irritating, which isn't surprising. So he's got a new one. Right, now let's do a bit of sweeping. I'm having a think. I'm not sure what to do with the stars. I am tempted to colour them in and then decide if I'm going to keep them like that or not. So I'm going to use the mustard to colour in the stars, and I'm just going to plain colour them because they're so small. And I may or may not go over them with some pen or something. We'll see. Yeah, my son will be pleased his chair is here. He'll be able to play with it. When's he coming home? I can't remember. He's due home this afternoon at some point. He's got, I think his classes end at 1:15. Due home at 2? Oh, I don't know. I haven't properly looked. Right, we have this little one to do. Now, dragonfly. I think the legs, we might do in black. They're really little, aren't they? So we're going to have a nice sharp pencil. This is the flat black from the Cobra set. Sorry, I didn't tell you the mustard was from the Cobra set as well. And I'm just going to do the really thin bits of leg with this. It's quite fine work. And then, oops. Yes, now we need to think of the colour. Now, I've done this dragonfly before quite a few times, and I quite like doing it in a sort of turquoisey colour, which I think is really pretty. However, I feel that this picture doesn't need turquoise. We need to balance it more. I'm thinking a burgundy might be better. Now, this might seem a little odd, but this is the Scorpion Burgundy. There are dragonflies in the UK that are sort of reddish burgundy colour. You may or may not have seen them. It's completely the wrong time of year to see a dragonfly. They like the hot weather. Or a damselfly. They're similar. So I'm just plain colouring this because it's quite small. But when it comes to this little bit, I'm going to try and make it a little bit darker at the bottom than the top. I would have been tempted to go around the edge in a darker bit, but it's just too little. It's got a very big eye. I'm going to use that flat black for the eye. It's quite a grey colour, but I think if I layer it up, it might work. Sorry, I just ran quite far away. Now the wings, I want a similar colour, but a slightly different colour. Now we have this colour called deep purple, which I think might work. No. What about the brown bug? Yeah, I'm going to use brown bug. It's a little bit browner than this red, and I think it will just work. I want it quite light though. That's not quite light, I know, there's a bit of shadow there, and now I want it light. So a bit darker at the bottom, then really light. That might seem an odd colour for wings, but I'm pretty sure their wings are this colour. But if they're not, they're not. But I'm sort of hoping it'll match in with the mushroom and our candle a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of shadow down there and in between these two wings. Yeah, I'm happy. Now I'm going to come right back out so we can see the whole page, because we're going to do a bit of a background. Now I think I'm just going to stick within the circle, and I'm going to use my soft pastels because it's nice and easy. Let me just make myself a bit of space. There we go. Oops, let's just move the pencils. Million, trillion pencils. Well, maybe not quite, but yeah, quite a few. Now, what colour are we going to do the background here? We can use grey. It's a little bit dull, and our lantern will get lost. We could use a blue, which would work because we've got no other blue. We could use a yellow, sort of because of this light. We haven't got much yellow here though, and we couldn't move from yellow to blue. What we could do is use yellow in here and then put some blue out there. Not sure. I'm going to get out one of my little cloths to make a start. These are a washable, it's a bit dirty, a washable makeup cloth. Yeah, I'm going to do this yellow. It's a bit different now. This yellow is really broken and small. You can see all the dust. I'm going to try and gently turn it over and see if I can get any out of it. There we go. I'm just going to clean it off and then use a new bit for the cleaned yellow. And just put some on really. I think what I'm going to do is put a layer of this yellow everywhere. I'm a bit worried that it's going to smudge some of the pencil work, but I'm going to try and go gently and carefully, and then think about whether I want any areas to be a little bit darker after. I'm just going to see how it looks with it on there first. I quite like a yellow, it's nice and warm. It's nice to have some warm colours today. It's cold. I haven't got my wrist warmers on, so I'm really noticing the cold. I shall put them on later, I'm sure. Although I might go out before lunch. Can't decide, because I work out what time my son's coming back. It's nice to be here when he gets back. I can make him a drink. Make sure he's okay. I think husband gets a bit jealous that I do that. I don't do that for him. Perhaps I should. But problem is he always likes, he's very picky with his drinks. I can make him a cup of tea and he's alright with that, but he usually likes coffee, and he microwaves the milk, and he likes a specific particular mug, and then he puts in a certain amount of coffee and stirs it up a certain amount of time. You know, it's a bit complex for me. I just like pouring water on a bit of coffee, but I'm not very good at making drinks. When we have workmen in and I offer them a cup of tea, I sometimes think, oh, they must think, yuck. So I'm just trying to get a reasonably even layer, which I'm happy with. Oops, I've gone a bit squiff. And I'm going to use the slightly darker yellow here, just around the lamp a little bit, just to brighten that area there. do that a bit more convincingly. There we go, and just spread that out around the lamp. And it's sort of cheating, well, it's just easier way of doing light like that. There we go. Now I am going to do some blue all the way around the edge, but just before that I'm going to get my eraser and I'm just going to erase any yellow that's gone outside of my circle. And why is that? Well, if I put blue on top of yellow, what's going to happen? Pink. No, why did I say pink? Green. Oh dear me. So blue and yellow make green. So I'm just going to try and reduce the chances of that by erasing the bits of yellow. It's not that important. There we go. And just use my brush to get rid of all those little bits. And there we are, ready to go. So my other side of my cloth has already got blue on, so I shall use that. I don't want it terribly dark. Just want a little bit, and I don't want it to look the same as the water, so I'm going to use this really light blue. You can see it's very pale, and just put a light layer around. Now I really should put a piece of paper under here. I'm just going to, just so it doesn't get all over the underneath pages, because that is what it can tend to do. There we go. You can see why I've used this before. All blue. Let's try and line it up. There we go. Okay, so just rub the blue onto the cloth. I'm trying to hold it down here on top of the pencil work so I don't get pastel on my hands. I'd say it's quite a light blue, and that's what I'm looking for. Just my sleeve just rubbing on my pencils. A bit around here. This is really different to any other version of this I've done, which I rather like, because, you know, when you've done a picture quite a few times, it's nice to make it look a bit different. I tend to not, I've never done a background round this bit before, and I've always done the inside of the bubble, or whatever it is, in a blue. So it's nice to have it a little bit different. Now if you wanted to look more bubble-like, you could draw some reflection on it with a white pen to try and make it look round, and that's just occurred to me that I could try and do that, but it's yellow. I don't think it's necessarily going to show up a white pen very well, so I think it might be a bit of a waste of time, to be honest, so I don't think I'll bother with that. Right, just checking. I'm going to leave it there now. You can't see a huge difference. You probably can. If you look at the white paper, you can see it's blue. When I take it away, it doesn't look that blue. Let's just get rid of that. But I didn't want it hugely blue, just a little bit. So I'm happy. You can do it a much darker blue if you want to. I just wanted to make sure that sea stood out, and felt if I made it too dark, then we would lose that water, which I think is all part of the picture. Just putting the pastels away so I don't spill them everywhere. And I'm going to grab my very last little touch. Trying to decide. No, I am going to use the metallic silver. I haven't got much left of this one on the bubbles. So I'm just going to do each bubble with a silver, in a silver. You could use a white, you could use a silver glitter, which is what I was considering. You could use, I've got some pearlescent silver paint, which would probably have worked quite nicely, which I've just remembered I've got. You could use stickles, they would look nice. There's all sorts of possibilities, but I have plumped for silver. So it's no right or wrong with this. Now other things we could do, which I probably won't, are you could put some glitter on top of the stars. You could use some white pen highlights on the leaves and toadstool and bug. You could do a border around this circle with a thicker, darker line, perhaps a metallic line, perhaps a glitter line, perhaps just a colour of some sort. Yeah, there's lots of extra little bits, you could put some white dots down in the water, or put glitter on the water to make it look shiny. If you've got some glossy accents, you could put them over the front of the lantern and maybe over the bug's wings. There's all sorts you can do. So the only thing I would say is if you're using stickles, be careful about the fact that it's quite difficult to colour on the back of them because they're quite lumpy, they're big, the glitter is big, which is lovely. Now in this planner that might not be a problem because you could sort of tuck the page round, you could colour the next page flat on your desk so that you haven't got the glitter underneath, or you can put a book or a papers, card or something between the pages so you can't feel that. There are ways around it, and it's easier with the ring binder book. You've got a few more options of folding the page back, which can help. But I'm not doing stickles today. I just feel that because my hands are cold, it sounds weird, that when I squeeze the bottle I might end up squeezing it too softly and then losing my patience, squeezing it too hard and getting a great big blob. So I'm not going to use them today. But I do like them. I also think they might be a bit hard from the cold. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know if they do that or not. But here we go. I am personally almost done. I just remembered something I want to do. This is my gold Gellyroll. I've just had to replace it because I ran it out. And I'm going to put some lines coming from our lantern in gold. Can you see Johanna's drawn some lines and dots? I'm just going to try and go over some of those, although this is a new pen, so it's very blobby. Good artistic word there, technical word, blobby. I quite fancy going around the edge of each star. Now I'm fussing. I don't know if that is looking a bit messy and maybe I shouldn't have bothered. It's fun though. Just making sure I don't put my hand down on top of what I've done already. I should probably turn the book round, but I'm doing it this way now. I'm determined. I can't breathe though, because it's finicky, fiddly. Oh, that was messy because I was talking. Have I done them all? Yeah. I am going to do one more thing because, I'm going to use my number 700, the clear glitter pen on the wings of the dragonfly. This is running out. I have got some new ones. I used them a lot at Christmas, so I grabbed some new ones with some of my Christmas money, which was nice. There we go. I don't think the rest of it needs to be, just the wings. And I think I am definitely going to leave it there. So there we are. So a three-parter, but it wasn't complicated, I don't think. I just took my time and enjoyed it. So I hope that was okay for you as well. I hope you've managed to colour along. Thank you so much for watching. Hoping that you have a super day, rest of your week, etc, etc. Do tune in tomorrow. There'll be something completely different. Don't ask me what, I do not know. But thanks again and happy colouring.